So, I recently found myself in a position where I had to learn a 3D program. Now, that can be extremely daunting, and it's not something one looks forward to, but the cutting edge technology it offered was something I could definitely benefit from. The program I'm talking about is called Unreal Engine, and to put it simply, it's a game engine which uses a physically based workflow with real-time capabilities. The combination of those features makes for a very powerful filmmaking tool. The goal is to use the features Unreal Engine can provide to not only enhance the feature film I'm currently working on, but to also speed up the workflow and essentially lower the overall budget of the film. But before I can do any of that, I still had to learn software. Personally, I find the best way to learn anything is to have a clear objective. With that said, let's take a look at what we're going to be creating today. First, I start with references. When learning, I always recommend recreating something. After searching on Pinterest, I found this painting, which I will be using as my main source when it comes to the building layout. Then, I'll continue searching for more references for things like the ground, windows, or anything else I might want to add into the scene. Now that I have a good idea of what I want to make, I can begin to 3D model my scene. I'll be using Cinema 4D for this part, but you can use any 3D application for modeling. I start by modeling the basic shape and then adding in the details based on my references. When modeling for Unreal, it's always a good idea to make a low and high polygon version of the model. We'll get into why a bit later. In the end, this is what I ended up with. Now it's time to export the scene as an FBX file and migrate into Substance Painter. For those who don't know, Substance Painter is a 3D application designed for texturing 3D models. The tools it provides make it an extremely valuable asset to my workflow, so I highly recommend it. Now that I've imported the scene into Substance Painter, the first thing I'm going to do is take the high polygon version of the scene and bake it into the low polygon scene as a normal map. This way, we get the same amount of detail but at a fraction of the computing power. After that's complete, it's time to texture. For this, I use the vast library of materials over at Quixel.com. They provide high-resolution, photo-scanned PBR materials. I highly recommend you check them out. Once I've gathered the materials I need, I can begin to texture the models. I used a mixture of smart masks and painting to layer the materials onto my models. Creating artifacts at the points of contact between objects is the key to getting a realistic look. Objects erode over time, they collect dust, they break down, they're rebuilt. Adding those characteristics into the scene will greatly improve the overall image. Once I'm satisfied with the look, I can export the materials as a PBR texture set and migrate the scene over into Unreal Engine. The first thing I'm going to do is light my scene before throwing on the textures. To do so, we're going to take some lights and stick them into the lantern models. Keep in mind that this is a game engine and you will need to fake almost everything when compared to Octane or Redshift. Now I'm going to grab another light, tint it blue, and make a moonlight out of it. Perfect. Now let's slap on the textures we created inside of Substance Painter. Alright, it's starting to really come together. But something feels off. It looks empty. Let's give it some life by adding some more detail. For this, we're going to go back into the Megascans library, but this time we'll be focusing on the 3D models they provide. Using a plugin called Bridge, I can import the 3D models from Megascans into Unreal Engine with just a couple clicks. Now that I have all my assets imported, it's a matter of bringing them into the scene and adjusting the colors to my liking. This is what it looked like before adding the Megascans assets, and this is what it looked like after. Yeah, big difference. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this quick overview, is that adding in the small details in the end is what's going to take your art from good to great. But that's it for today, guys. I want to thank you for watching this quick overview. and I hope this helps you guys with your upcoming projects. Make sure to stay tuned because this is only the beginning. We still have so much more cool stuff to show you guys, so subscribe to the channel and keep on learning. Cheers!